Hello everyone. Just to explain what you're watching today, there was 2 interviews over 2 days with both MC and Nida. Unfortunately, due to technical issues, there was problems with the video recording and problems with audio, meaning that we had to do part of it again with MC the next day. So that's why there's a different look between me and also a different look in with MC as well. So yeah, I still hope you enjoy. So some good content, and yeah, enjoy the video. 4 weeks in now, you're 3-3 in the split. How do you feel it's going for you personally?
I think after the first week, it's gone pretty well. We should have taken the game against what's their name again? Can someone remind me?
Week 1?
No, I don't know.
Let's see their name again.
Galaxy Race?
Singularity.
Oh.
Yeah, we were really ahead in the early game, but we we kind of we were 6k gold ahead, I think, and then we just did a series of mistakes, especially me, when I threw out the blue buff. But I feel like we played a really solid early game, so I wasn't too mad about that game. So I'd say I'm pretty happy with how it's going. Obviously, I'm excited to play against Excel and Fnatic again, because I feel like we've improved a lot since the first week.
And do you feel that the mistakes that were made in the Singularity game, for example, have been fixed in the scrims this week, or have been attempted to be fixed in the scrims this week?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. I would say the major mistake in that game was just me fighting at blue buff for zero reason,
Okay.
and of course the Drake fights. So for me at least, I feel like it's a really easy mistake to work on, and I should be fine going into next game.
Okay, and Nida, obviously 2 games next week. We have Dusty on the Wednesday, and we have Tricked on the Thursday. How are you kind of feeling about them games from a coaching perspective? Obviously, Dusty are a team that was 0-5 until last week, and then they
beat
Fnatic. Yeah,
they beat Fnatic. Yeah.
How are you kind of looking at Dusty?
I don't think we should underestimate them. I think we should prepare like we do for every other team. I don't think we discriminate and say oh, we should prepare extra hard for these guys because they're better. We always take our opponents seriously and try the hardest to win.
Do you think the team's underperforming right now, or do you think they're about where they should be? Where do you think they should be in the standings, for example?
I think they upset Fnatic because they had better draft, partly, and I think Fnatic had enough. I don't think they're better than Fnatic because then our group looks kind of doomed if last place is beating first place in our group. But yeah, I don't know. I think on a good day we easily beat them, no problem. But yeah, we're our own worst enemy. We could lose to them easily as well. Depends how we show up.
Yeah, and Tricked, obviously. Tricked are second in the standings. They're 4-1, I believe, so far. There, obviously, Singularity are just above them. BTXL, strangely, are just behind them. So, obviously, the top 3. Everyone kind of expected that to be the top 3 in that group. But what do you think of the ordering that it's in right now?
I mean, it's about as expected. I think everyone expected BTXL to be at the top. No?
BTXL are 3rd right now.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's a bit of an upset. Singularity were surprisingly strong when we played against them, and I look forward to playing against Tricked and seeing how good they are as well.
So, MC, is there any matchup in the Tricked game? Obviously, it's going to be a very hype game and people are looking forward to it. Is there any matchup specifically that you're looking forward to seeing? Is it the top lane, the mid lane, the bot lane?
I would say the bot lane is interesting because they're both high-level bot lanes. And I would also say, personally for me, jungle is interesting as well because back in 2018 I played 2 splits against Taxer, and he was always on the top tier teams of back then the Forge of Champions. So I'm just excited to play against him again, especially after last split where I think went top 8 in EM Masters. So yeah, it's just gonna be fun to play against a good jungler.
Yeah. So how do you view him? Obviously, you said you played against him back then. You're playing against him now. How do you think he's evolved in that time? Do you think he's one of the top junglers in the NLC now then?
Back then he was for sure. I think now there's a bit of challenge between Maxi, Marcoon, I would say, and then it's me and him as well. So
Okay.
I would say he's top 4 for sure in junglers. It's hard to say now because obviously Excel has been griefing a bit, so it's hard to say who's the best jungler, but I would say it's close between the 4. Yeah.
And stylistically, how do you think you match up with him?
I think both of us, at least from seeing his games, I'd say he's more of a team player, but we can also play like aggressive champions.
Okay.
So it's kind of similar in that sense. But yeah, I'm just excited to play against him and see how he's changed honestly over like what 3 years now. So
Yeah, that's fair enough. And the last question, obviously, there's teams this week in the NLC that have to play 3 games in a row. They play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, obviously, we are playing on the Wednesday and the Thursday, 20 CEST both games against Dusty the first game and Trick the second game. Dusty have 3 games in a row. They have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, do you think that's kind of an advantage or a disadvantage to us and to Dusty, for example, that they might be warmed up by the time they get to play against us, or they might be tired out? What are your thoughts on that kind of thing, and what are your thoughts on playing 3 competitive games in a row?
I think it's not like exhausting to play. I think if that's the case, it's more exhausting for us because we scrim like 5 games and we have the reviews and stuff. So I wouldn't say it makes much of a difference in terms of like how much you play each day. I would say it's more of a mental thing because
Okay.
if you, let's say, when your last 2 days of professional games and then you come in like to your third day, you're like pumped up to play because you have that momentum going on.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with when you play EU Master Play-ins, for example, and like you stomp all the games. You're like, I would say, more ready to play in groups than like other teams who haven't.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
But I would say in terms of work, yeah, it's not much difference for us or for them.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, like I said, we have the Dusty game at 20 CST on Wednesday, the Tricked game at 20 CST on Thursday as well. Thank you, MC, for joining me again. 2 days
Thank
in
you
a
for
row.
having me.
Um,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, make sure you're checking out our content. #Riddle Hype.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.